In this video, I'm gonna break down 5 ways to use point of view in editing to make the scenes more emotional, more cinematic, and more memorable. My name is Baudilio Perez and I work on cinematic productions. Let's go with the strategy number 1. Using point of view to construct action scenes. You have to understand something fundamental. The audience doesn't know your scene. They don't know what you shot, what you hide, or how it was constructed. For example, in this scene, we are inside a battle taking place in a mountainous landscape between Spanish soldiers and indigenous warriors. The main character, Pedro, is fighting alongside indigenous people, and the battle unfolds in a very specific sequence of actions. First, an indigenous warrior falls. Then a Spanish soldier falls. Pedro continues fighting against the Spanish troops. This soldier is killed and another Spanish soldier is reached by an arrow. And after that, another indigenous warrior falls in the chaos of battle. As the sequence continues, Pedro, the main character, keeps engaging in combat with the last remaining soldier. Around then, the battle comes to an end, and the remaining soldiers retreat and escape deeper into the forest. What is important here is not just what is happening, but how it's shown through editing, the order of these actions, the rhythm between cuts, and how each moment is structured to guide the viewer through the chaos. But what the audience doesn't realize is that this entire sequence is carefully constructed in post-production. In reality, many of these indigenous warriors are the same actor, reused and reframed in different shots. So the edit is designed so the viewer never has enough time or clarity to recognize it. Instead, what you control is perception. When each action is revealed, how quickly it cuts to the next one, and how the viewer experiences the progression of the battle. In the shooting, we couldn't bring any more actors. It was a very difficult location, so there was only one actor to represent the indigenous warriors in that scene. And this another example is even more revealing, because in this part there is a shot in between that belongs to another character, another horse rider, but it's so quick that you are not able to notice it. So this is amazing. This is where point of view becomes the real tool of editing. So you are not just showing action, you are designing the order in which the audience is going to understand your story. Let's go with the second, using point of view to expand the space where events take place. In this same sequence, you can see shots of the captain and his officer riding through the forest. But these shots were not actually filmed in the same location. But through editing, color correction, and visual continuity, they are unified into a single environment. Actually, in the montage, we also introduce wide establishing shots of the forest before and after the battle. That is very important. I mean, these shots are not just decorative. They are there to reinforce spatial orientation and remind the audience where everything is happening. The same idea applies in another scene where Pedro, the main character, meets his father. The locations are different, but through the direction of movement. One character going down the hill, I mean the Spanish soldier on horseback, and the other going up, Pedro's father, and through the way the shots are cut together, the audience connects both spaces as part of the same mountain environment. So this is not about geography, it's about perception. Let's go with the third one, using point of view to add invisible elements through gaze. For example, in this scene, Pedro is resting after the battle, when he notices a dog with blood in its mouth. That element was physically present during filming. But later in the scene, we introduce the body of a fallen, blooded indigenous warrior, which was not in the same physical location. However, through the character's gaze, and the way the shots are edited together, both elements feels like they exist in the same location, in the same space. That is very important, as if the dog were a wild dog eating the corpse, you know? So the character's point of view becomes a bridge between what is physically there and what is constructed in the edit. So this technique is extremely powerful because it allows you to expand reality without breaking it. And in fact, I used a very similar approach in another production where I combined live action footage, CGI, and AI to create an entire dragon battle sequence set in Normandy. And if you want to see how that was built, I break it down step by step in another video here on the channel. You can see the link right here. And let's go with the fourth one, using point of view to make CGI feel real. In this scene, we first show real horses moving through the environment. This establishes the physical rules of the world. I mean weight, lighting, motion, and scale. But only after that we introduce CGI horses, those you can see on the screen, because the audience has already accepted the visual language of the scene. So the CGI doesn't feel separate, it feels like a continuation. This is one of the key principles in visual effects. CGI is never judged in isolation, it's always judged in context. Let's go with the last one, the fifth strategy, using point of view to change location and compress time. This is closely related to the concept of ellipsis, the omission of time in storytelling. So in this scene we see a character walking towards a mountain. Later we see him after has already crossed it, so the journey itself is never shown, but the audience understands it. So through consistent point of view and spatial logic, the viewer naturally feels the missing time, and that is crucial in editing. So as you can see, there are not just editing tricks, they are storytelling decisions, because editing is not about cutting footage, it's about controlling perception. And when you learn to control perception, you are no longer just editing scenes, you are shaping how people experience your story. So if you want to go deeper into editing, ellipsis, storytelling, VFX, and AI cinematic workflows, you can find my full DaVinci Resolve training in the link in the description below. And don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell. I would love to know how would you use the point of view in your own stories. I see you in the next time.